This is the Revolutionary News, produced on Friday, November 7th, 1775, with reports from across the colonies. I'm Allison Ingersoll in the New York Bureau. Don't miss Anson Ingram's interview with General George Washington later in this episode. This is day 202 since the first shots were fired at Lexington and Concord, Massachusetts. Our lead story takes us to Canada, where, on November 3rd, just 4 days ago, Patriot forces led by General Richard Montgomery took control of Fort St. John, the key British stronghold guarding the southern approach to Montreal. Montgomery's army, composed largely of troops from New York and New England, endured cold, rain, and shortages of supplies as they surrounded the fort beginning in mid-September. British Major Charles Preston and his garrison, including the 26th Regiment of Foot, held out stubbornly but, cut off from reinforcements and provisions, were compelled to surrender. The victory bolsters hopes that Canada might join the colonies in resisting British rule. General Montgomery and his troops, weary but elated, are now advancing north toward Montreal. Our next story is about Lord Dunmore, the Virginia royal governor, who today escalated the colonial conflict by issuing a proclamation of martial law. Writing from the ship William off the coast from Norfolk, declared patriots to be traitors. Dunmore also made the unprecedented offer of freedom to any enslaved person or indentured servant belonging to a rebel who was able and willing to bear arms and join the king's forces. These moves, intended to bolster the depleted loyalist ranks, strike at the core of the patriot-led planter economy and social order. Colonial leaders are expected to condemn the decree fiercely, further aligning Virginia with the patriot cause. Over to you, Anson.
Thanks, Allison. We welcome back General Washington, who joins us from Continental Army Headquarters at the Vassal House on Brattle Street in Cambridge, Massachusetts.
Thanks for having me back on your program, Anson.
It's our pleasure, sir. You've been successful in containing British forces within the town of Boston. Can you provide an update?
Well, Anson, it has felt like a standoff for months now. We've been able to disrupt supply lines that sustain an enemy that remains formidable.
What can you do to gain an advantage, and maybe even a victory there?
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. I'm preoccupied with what may seem like routine matters, but they are more important than you can imagine. I want our troops to have decent coats before it gets much colder. The men are even getting into fights over firewood and chop down trees indiscriminately. If we do not maintain adequate levels of enlistment going into the new year, frankly, the cause could be lost.
It sounds like there's much more you'd like to do. Can you elaborate?
Certainly, Anson. I'd like to extend more aid than just sympathy to my friend Enoch Moody and all the others affected by the burning of Falmouth, Maine, but I simply lack the resources. And Josiah Quincy suggested that we move artillery from Long Island, New York, to Boston Harbor to blockade British ships, but our limited gunpowder makes the plan infeasible.
General, I hear that your troops wanted to celebrate Pope Night on November 5th, a colonial version of Great Britain's Guy Fawkes Night, but you ordered them not to. Is that true?
Burning effigies of the Pope and symbols of Catholicism is both childish and antithetical to the ideals we should promote as an emerging nation. And the practice compromises all the hard work we're doing to win over French-Canadian Catholics. I won't stand for it.
I admire your principled stance, General Washington. Thank you for your time. Back to you, Allison.
Wow, what a great interview, Anson. Thanks. So there you have it. The news of the week ended November 7th, 1775. Subscribe for free to this YouTube channel and follow the revolution. See you next Friday.